Have you ever been driving late at night, windows slightly open, the radio barely audible, when you hear something that doesn't belong? Not a scream, not laughter, but the soft, broken sound of a child crying. You slow down, your heart tightens, and for just a moment you wonder if you imagined it. But then you hear it again. Tonight's story is about a bridge where that sound has been purported for decades. A bridge where people hear children crying beneath their feet, even though no children are ever found. And once you hear them, some say they never really leave you. Bridges are meant to connect places, one side to another, safe ground to safe ground. But there are some bridges that feel different, heavy, like they're holding on to something they were never meant to keep. This bridge looks ordinary during the day: rusted steel, cracked concrete, a narrow river flowing beneath it. Cars pass without slowing, joggers cross it without a second thought, parents push strollers across it, unaware of the stories whispered after dark. But when night falls, when the road empties and the trees press close, the bridge changes. Drivers report the same things over and over again. The temperature drops suddenly, their radio fills with static, and then crying, soft, weak, desperate, like a child who's been crying for hours and no longer has the strength to scream. The sound always comes from below the bridge. Most people don't stop. They tell themselves it's an animal, the wind, their imagination playing tricks on them. But years ago, something happened that made ignoring it impossible. 27 years ago, a woman named Elena Morrow was driving home late with her 2 children. It was raining lightly, the road nearly empty. The bridge was a shortcut she had taken dozens of times before. She never made it home. The next morning, her car was found stopped near the center of the bridge. The driver's door was open. The keys were still in the ignition. There were no skid marks, no signs of a crash, no blood, and no children. Search teams combed the river and the surrounding woods for weeks. Dogs traced their scent to the middle of the bridge and then stopped, as if the trail simply ended. 3 days later, Elena was found wandering barefoot nearly 10 miles away. She was alive, but she never spoke again. Doctors said the trauma had broken her mind. Locals said something else had touched her. Her children were never found, and not long after that, the crying began. At first, it was occasional. A driver would mention hearing something strange. A passerby would swear they heard sobbing under the bridge. But soon the reports became impossible to ignore. Always the same details, always at night, always the sound of children. 2 voices. Some people couldn't live with not knowing. One man, driving home from a late shift, heard the crying clearly enough that he pulled over. He thought a child had fallen into the river. He thought he could help. The moment he stepped out of his car, the crying moved. Not louder, closer. He said it followed him directly beneath his feet, moving along the underside of the bridge as he walked above it. When he called out, asking if anyone was there, the crying stopped instantly. Then he heard footsteps, small ones, running. He ran back to his car, slammed the door shut, and that's when his radio turned on by itself. Through the static, a child's voice whispered, "Why didn't you help us?" He left town 2 weeks later. Others went looking on foot. One couple climbed down to the riverbank after hearing crying so real it made their stomachs turn. They found tiny handprints in the mud along the shore. The prints led into the water. None led back out. Authorities eventually tried to calm the rumors. They blamed acoustics. They said the bridge amplified natural sounds: animals, wind, water moving through the beams. They said the human brain fills in gaps when it's tired and afraid. But then, city workers refused to do night inspections. One maintenance worker quit after hearing what he described as children giggling while he checked the cables beneath the bridge. Another claimed his flashlight caught the reflection of small, wet footprints appearing behind him on the concrete as he walked. The city quietly stopped nighttime maintenance altogether. No explanation, no announcement, just silence. Some believe the bridge sits on a place where something tore open long ago. Others think the children never left because they don't know how. One last story comes from a teenager who decided to test the legend. He crossed the bridge alone at 2 a.m, recording the whole thing on his phone. The video is shaky, wind, static, darkness. Then the crying begins. You can hear him whisper, "I hear them." The camera turns toward the river. The crying stops. After a long pause, a small voice asks, "Are you our new friend?" The phone hits the ground. That's where the footage ends. They found the phone on the bridge. They never found him. The bridge is still there. Cars still pass over it every day. People laugh, text, and drive without slowing. But late at night, when the road is empty and the air is cold, some swear you can still hear children crying beneath your feet. And now that you know their story, there's only one question left. If you heard them, would you stop? Or would you keep driving, pretending you didn't? If you want more stories that follow you into the dark, like this video, subscribe, and join the channel. Leave a comment below. Would you cross the bridge? And when you're ready, watch the next story. Just don't listen too closely.